Number 5. White Roller Coaster, Utah. Park, Lagoon Amusement Park, Utah, United States. Ride open 1921. That's 3 of 1. Total deaths 3. One of the oldest roller coasters still in operation, the White Roller Coaster is still a popular attraction of the Lagoon Amusement Park. However, it has been involved in number of tragic incidents since its opening 1921. The first occurred in 1934 when 20-year-old Henry Howe fell to his death after attempting to stand up while the ride was in operation. 12 years later, the worker James Hess fatally hit by one of train while repairing the coaster scaffolding, dying of arm, leg, and skull, and fractures, as well as internal injuries. Most recently is in 1989, a 13-year-old girl fell to her death after standing up on the ride. She died almost instantly, and she was declared dead on the scene. Despite the White Roller Coaster has been continued to renovated and remain the popular fixture at the Lagoon Amusement Park. Number 4. New Texas Giant, Texas, United States. Park, Six Flags Over Texas. Ride open 1990. Reopened as New Texas Giant in 2011. Total deaths 1. Texas Giant originally opened in 1990 as a wooden roller coaster. However, after a declined smoothness of ride, it was renovated and relaunched in 2011 as a New Texas Giant, this time featuring a steel track. It was following its reopening as New Texas Giant that calamity struck on 19th of July 2013. A 50-year-old woman fell to her death from the roller coaster while it was running. This led to large-scale inquiry as how the incident had occurred. The ride was closed during the investigation, which eventually concluded that tragedy was not due to any kind of mechanical failure. The Texas Giant reopened 2 months later on 14th September. All of coaster trains were given redesigned restraint and seat belts, and the incident also led to Six Flags introducing seat belts on several of its other roller coasters. Number 3. Mindbender, Alberta, Canada. Park, Galaxyland, Alberta, Canada. Ride open 1985. Total deaths 3. The park located indoor at the mall. The park called Galaxyland Museum Park. The Mindblender ride, the largest indoor triple loop roller coaster in the world. The relatively short ride at just about 1.13 minutes to complete the whole track. The Mindblender has nonetheless been caused one of the worst accidents in the park history. The incident occurred on 14th of June 1986, after missing a bolt on the wheel assembly of the car, caused the back of the train to disengage from the track, and this led to several passengers being thrown off after the train began to wave violently before the train entered the final loop and stalled, then slid into concrete pillar. The incident led to deaths of 3 people and left one man critically injured. It took place while the park was full of revivals attending the concert, who bore witness to terrible derailment. The ride was closed pending on an investigation. The inquiry discovered that the problem was due to mix-up in the translation between English and German maintenance information, leading to problems with how some of wheels were attached to axle. The cap screws has become loose over time, with some of rubbing along the rail and the snapping. After 7 months, Mindbender was reopened and redesigned the train. Ever since its reopening, the Mindbender has no notable issue and continues to popular attraction to this day. Number 1. The Big Dipper, United Kingdom. Park, Battersea Fun Fair, London, England. The ride opened 1951. That's 5. The Battersea Fun Fair was the celebrated addition to Battersea, filled with various types of rides, swings, and other attractions. The larger and most iconic of these was the roller coaster, simply its name as the Big Dipper. Tragedy struck on 30th May 1972. Over 20 years after the coaster opened, 31 people were on board. A tray would be attached from the drive chain first incline. On the top of the first incline, the train slid backward and hit the turn and derailed from the rail. An 8-year-old and 2 teenage boys pronounced dead at the scene, while 2 other children died from the various injuries shortly after. And the story of the survivor has been followed by the 3-pack wooden carriage slowly climbed toward the top of the hill, 124, the summit being pulled by the steel cable. Thus, there was a great excitement and anticipation for those on board for the thrill and outcome about to come. The rickety wooden structure of the ride seemed to be cracked away and grown its way, but the carriage didn't make it on to the top. They became detached from the haulage wire and started slowly roll backward. I turned around and was shocked to see that the brakeman who was standing directly behind the carriage started to slip backward, and the crash where the first man was the brakeman hit by the carriage and the brake was failed. The carriage started to picking up the speed. One of the carriage from the top was started to derail. Stated that 2 carriages were derailed and they were stated all expected to fun fairs ended in tragedy. 5 children were killed and 13 were injured. On the day of 13th May 1972, my friend and I was physically injured. The disaster resulted in execution of the manslaughter against the park manager and the ride engineer. Though they are both cleared of all charges, the Big Dipper were immediately closed and dismissed the following accident. The fair scope